This is Jacky, one of the Wren's success stories.
I'm not talking, am I?
The Wren is one of 4 groups we worked with last year.
Shall I say hi, Jacky?
Hiya, Luna.
Hi.
Hiya.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
What have you? Has it been busy today in the
Yeah, it's
cafe?
been quite busy.
Has
It's done really well since we've opened. It's been definitely
That's
done.
nice. And when did it open?
We opened on the 6th. It's just over a week. When did
Yeah, it's only a week, isn't it? It's been open.
yeah. It's doing really well. Getting a lot of good feedback.
Very good.
Now, the thing about, yes, that's the main, that sticks in my mind now. Because you played a song by 2 different artists, and the first one, it seems to be going on and on.
Leonard Cohen.
And I'm thinking,
He does go on.
Oh gosh, man. And I wasn't really getting it. Then you played it by a lady. who
Tori
was singing.
Amos.
She was singing it, and it made such a difference. And so it just shows you that there is difference in different arts. You can do different different things of the song.
And it was the same song, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and then we started to write, and you had to write a song.
A letter.
Write a letter. I wrote a letter to my dad who just died, and as I was writing it, and I always remember it started, and I thought I can't write it. I find it really hard just to write anything down normally. And I thought, and I just remember it started as I'm sitting here in Mabgate Mills, and that's how it started. And then everything, and it must, I don't know if it was from them, the songs you played, or how you were speaking to us about how these thoughts can come and how different things can interpret it, different, how different voices of songs can do them. But I wrote this song, and I remember, and I took it to my dad's grave, and it's still there. It's not on his grave. I put it in some wire at the back where all this fencing was, like bushes, hedges it was, and I put it in the wire there. And as we went to clear it, because my mum's died and we had to clear it for my mum to go in, and all the hedge had been cut, and my letter is still in that barbed wire. And I like to think he reads it. But yeah, and it's things like that, and I'm thinking, I can't write, I can't draw, definitely can't draw, no good with felt tips. But then I started with a piece of wood.
You did really well with the stick, the ink and the stick, didn't you?
But it's not only because it was wet paper, like it's because when ink and run, what it bleeds, is it? I don't know.
It bleeds, on the wet paper, yeah.
But it's that you can send it in a direction.
That's
It
right.
doesn't have to be just one big block, and you can make it shade and light with it.
Yeah.
So you see, all that I wouldn't have got any of that before.
And we made some great cats.
The cats.
I loved the
Yeah,
cats.
you can do a cat facing away, so you get its tail.
Yeah.
Mine weren't that good, but I'd got a cat where I could never even just do that for years. Yeah, so everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah,
in the class.
they did.
All the art, everything about it was just so good. And the emotion, that is the thing. Do you remember the emotion?
I don't think we were expecting it. I think we were expecting a very kind of bland art class where you teach us different things, and actually what we got out of it was really empowering and really powerful, and just helped the women kind of tell their stories in a totally different way. I think you just totally disarmed us, Una, in a good way, and I think we all got an awful lot out of it.
Oh yeah.
And hadn't really expected to, had we?
Because you were saying that the way people shared stories in the session, I mean, it should just kind of happen organically, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it kind of happens because I'm sharing my stories as well.
Yes. It felt a really safe space.
Yeah.
And it allowed people just to kind of open up and tell their stories at their pace as well. And I think that was kind of really helpful.
And everybody cried in the last session.
Everybody cried.
I
It was
made
like
you
a
all
massive
cry.
therapy session. One lady said she had to go home and go to bed. She was so exhausted, but in a good way. And I think it was just really powerful, and we hadn't expected that. And it was a really beautiful thing to do with the women, and we want to absolutely now bring it into our training and do it with every trainee who comes through Wren, because it just adds another dimension to the wellbeing sessions that we give our women, and just wanting to look at them holistically and allow them to tell their stories in a safe place. It just feels a really important part of our training now.
So you're going to book me again for
We're
this
going to
year?
book you again. Are we, Jacky?
Oh, definitely. We already have. Definitely book you again. We already have. Can't wait.
Can I have cake and coffee every time I come?
You can come for lunch as well, Una.
Oh,
You like the
so
lunches.
look forward to the
You
lunch.
can do that.
You see, you disarmed me because I thought the lunch was just going to be a few sandwiches on a plate.
I
and
know.
No,
No.
it was like being at a restaurant. It was fantastic.
Can I just say, I'd never had hummus,
Yeah.
guacamole, there's lots of things.
Halloumi
Olives.
cheese.
Halloumi,
Yeah.
olives. I've never had chili, all these soups, what she does, all the food. I've never had hominy pie, which is now one of our best sellers on our menu.
I don't know what hominy pie is. What's that?
Oh, you're missing.
It's sweet potato and new potato and spring onion and creme fraiche and cheese
That sounds
in a
nice.
little pie.
And
It's
it is
good.
beautiful, it really is. Yeah. So when are you back with us?
May.
May?
Yeah.
Oh, the ladies will love it.
2023.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing you. You won't be joining in with the session this time because
No.
you're too busy in the cafe, aren't you?
I'm working, I'm sorry I can't make it.
Oh dear.
So the Wren Bakery is a social enterprise that we started 3 years ago, and we work with groups of 4 women at a time. We work with them for a 2-year period, and we're really aiming to work with women in Leeds who've experienced a lot of social disadvantage. So we work with women who have struggled with addiction problems, their mental health may be really poor, poverty, domestic violence, so issues like that. We want to kind of work with those women, provide a really safe, supportive environment for them and give them transferable skills to be able to make steps back into work. So for 6 months we meet the women every Friday and they're here in this training room with us, and we'll spend the morning doing kind of baking sessions. So we're wanting them to be confident bakers, we're wanting them to be able to bake for our cafe here and sell their produce. We always have lunch together because we feel like that's a really important part of the day, just connecting with the women and sitting and talking. The Wren Bakery is very relational based, so it's really important to us that we get to know the women well and we journey with them. And then in the afternoon we have different sessions, so they'll learn barista training and they will become confident baristas. We do wellbeing sessions because we want the women to kind of be happy in life and in work. So we work with a trained psychotherapist who comes in and does sessions with the women. And then Una, you come in and do some fantastic art therapy. We did that for the first time last year with our graduates last year, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was a way of kind of really drawing out their stories through art, and I have to say that none of us felt like very good artists by the time we started, but honestly by the end of kind of 4 weeks we were really thriving, and we tried loads of different ways of kind of expressing our stories through different art forms, and the feedback was just phenomenal, so we absolutely want to include that in our training again this year. So at the end of a 6-month period the women have built a portfolio of transferable skills, and we then go out and we celebrate and graduate them, and after that we then mentor them for another 18 months, and that's really to give them opportunities of working in our very own cafe here, but also linking with other employers in the city and moving the women into different work placements, either voluntary or paid.
So Jackie, tell us a little bit about what the Wren's done for you.
Well, the Wren has, yes, it's given me life. It has made me more than just exist, which is what I've told quite a few people. It's not only give me a lot, it's also give my family a lot. I got involved when the 5 Ways. I used to go to a group there called Wonder Woman, and it was told to us that there's 2 ladies, Claire and Emma, who started the Wren, and they're hoping to find volunteers to help them with baking and barista work and all these, and hopefully build your self-confidence. And I thought, yes, I couldn't bake, I can't bake. Well, I can, but I can now. But I couldn't. I thought, yeah, I met them, they came to 5 Ways, had an interview, and then not long after Claire rang me, she says, yeah, we'd love to take you on. And it was I was so pleased. And then we started at Meanwood is it a church or something? It was.
Yeah, we hired a community hall in Meanwood, so we hired their newly renovated kitchen and one of their rooms, their annex rooms, didn't we? And we used to drive the Citroen van over into the car park, and Andrew McBean used to come and do barista training actually on the van. So it was a good little venue, but because it wasn't city centre, it created a few barriers for women in getting kind of 2 buses to us. But it was a good place to start, wasn't it?
They were lovely.
The Wren offers baking and barista training to women who've experienced disadvantage. Red Dress supplements this training with creative life writing workshops. We draw, we think, we talk, we write. In other groups, we've done forum theatre, and in one group, we drew a map, because each group is tailored to fit. My new Patreon gives you access to creative writing tips and activities, drawing tuition, support with constructing your memoir or your fiction, and our amazing book club with special guest authors every month. You can also read articles, guest blogs, and extracts from my new book. Every penny goes to supporting Red Dress creative training projects with small charities like the Wrens. I feel I've been training for this my whole life. I have a great team of artists, writers, performers and trustees to support me, and I have great ambition for this project. I want to hear all of these voices, don't you? In our first year, we worked with 4 groups. This year, we hope to work with 11 groups to help people who have had difficult lives to find their creative voice. But we need your help. My new not-for-profit needs your support. Sign up for our Patreon from £6 a month now. Patreon.com/Red Dress Collective.